Hey neighbors, it's your buddy Mason Stewart back in the booth once again. It's been another week. It's kind of flown by. It's been crazy, let me tell you. Um, got not a lot of updates, a few of my thoughts on some things, going into everything. And then we got a fun food adventure, something new that I hadn't seen before. Maybe you guys have, but I hadn't seen it before, so it should be really exciting. But let's jump right in to our weekly recap, guys. So, on the voiceover front, no jobs this week, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's becoming kind of a trend, right? And that's something that, we're taking into consideration with whether we want to continue and pursue voiceover once all of my subscriptions have ended and I'm out of money, right? I'm out of, credit to be able to do all this stuff. A little hard to talk about. I've been very good with my money all through my life. This is the first amount of debt that I've ever had, and it sucks. Don't go into debt, people. It's the worst. But on that note, I've been thinking a lot this week as I've been doing voiceover. And, not knowing if this is going to be something that's sustainable in the long run, I really started thinking about like what my skill sets are. And if I were to go back to school, what would I even go back to school for? What would my goal and my aim be? And so I've been thinking a lot about that. I've also been looking at, areas that may not require college education and things that I'd be able to do. Stuff like that. And there are a few options, that have high paying, outcomes, but don't require college education. And a few of them, as I sat there and thought about them, and I thought, would I actually be happy doing this? Would this improve my life? And that's really how I'm kind of looking at this whole process is, if I decide to move on to something else, will this improve my life? Because that's really what it's all about, right? Is when we make changes, 9 times out of 10, it's to improve some aspect of our life, whether that's more money, whether that's better hours or, more flexibility, different things like that. So that's something I'm taking into consideration as well. One thing that has caught my attention, because I wanted to try to bring some type of information about voiceover into my next career. And so I was looking at that and came across audio production, right? Audio production is a big thing. Those are people that I'm reaching out to all the time, seeing if they have work for me, different things like that. And I've been told on numerous occasions my editing and my processing of my audio is really top notch. And I feel like I would be able to definitely make a good career out of that. It's got a decent salary. It's not like anything crazy, right? It's not like high-end voiceover salaries or anything like that. But it's definitely something I'm looking into and definitely something that I would love to do. There are a few online courses that are highly acclaimed that I could get a entire bachelor's degree through, which would be a huge step for me. So definitely something I am taking into consideration, and maybe that's where this is going to lead to come the next year or so, is that I'm going to be switching focus, We never know. But that's kind of what my entire week entailed. Played some video games. I haven't been streaming, if you guys are wondering. I haven't been streaming a whole lot. I just haven't been feeling up to it. I've been kind of down this week, a little bit of depression this week just because I've been trying to figure out this voiceover stuff and things aren't working out, different things like that. And so by the time it comes for me to, end my day, which I usually do with video games to kind of de-stress, relax, different things like that. As funny as that may be to some people, but I just haven't felt up to streaming. I just kind of wanted to play. Hopefully we'll get back into streaming. Don't worry, though. I still have a backlog of The Magician's Nephew, so we're not going to fall behind. I'll make sure that we at least record one outside of the outside of the Twitch space, if need be. So you don't have to worry about that. It's still going to be something that's happening. So no worries there. Let's see. What else happened this week? Nothing to me, unfortunately. A lot of my day is just, doing work. Oh, that's maybe a good segue. At my day job currently, they've asked me, so there are different lines of businesses that we work with. So there's like member support, there's member recovery, aka collections, there's virtual banking, there's consumer advocacy. There's a bunch of different like areas. And so currently, I was only working in member recovery, doing QA for that, and for consumer advocacy, which is like complaints and different things like that. But now I'm getting cross-trained starting on Monday into virtual banking. So I'm going to be covering 3 lines of business. Means that I may not have a lot of time like I used to in my day job, which is one of the appeals of my day job. So that sucks a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to rectify that pretty quickly, but we'll just have to see how things go. Let's see, what else? I can't think of anything else, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I had a lot more content to be able to give you guys, but I'm a homebody. And that's why I like doing the food adventures. It's kind of a fun way to break up kind of the monotonous talking about my week and my thoughts. But before we get to our food adventure, that's going back to what I was talking about earlier with in regards to like me looking at other career options, different things like that. Please, when you're looking at anything in your life, any sort of change, it doesn't have to be a job. It can be a move. It can be deciding if a relationship, whether it be with a friend, a spouse, significant other, doesn't matter. If you're looking to make some kind of change, ask yourself, what part of my life will improve if I change this? Or if I go to this, what part of my life will improve? And will it be an improvement or will it be a downgrade, essentially? That's the most important thing. Make sure that when you make changes, that it's an improvement on whatever thing you're changing. That's what it's all about. It's baby steps improving. I still have a really hard time with this concept, with the whole voiceover thing, because like I've never been one to be like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing this thing, right? I'm gonna give up. It's just not in my personality. So this has been a very hard, difficult decision because like if I end up leaving voiceover, it's like some people could look at it as failure. But I've learned so much, like an immense amount of stuff, and I've learned it the hard way in some cases, right? Made some mistakes, and that's what life is about. You make mistakes, you learn, and you move on. And that's what I would be doing if voiceover doesn't work out. So, again, if you make changes, any change in your life, will it bring you joy? Or will it be a downgrade? And that's the important thing to look at. All right, now we're all done with the serious stuff. So, let's get into our food adventure. So, Again, this is the last of the bits of stuff that I got on the last big shopping trip I went on. So, should be very interesting. But this item I didn't know existed. Apparently, it is semi-new. This food item was released back in March of this year, 2022. So, March 2022 is when this food item first showed up. I had never seen it before. This is the first time I've seen it, so should be very interesting. But we have a classic that people love. We got some M&Ms. Yeah, but guess what? They aren't just normal M&Ms. We don't do normal here. Let's see. Can I get this? There we go. Crunchy cookie. You can see green M&Ms holding a crunchy M&M cookie. So classic M&M cookie, that people make all the time, bakeries, different stuff like that. But M&Ms have incorporated it into their candy. So based off of the bag, what I can deduce is that it's going to be like a normal kind of like, think of like a peanut M&M. The outside of a peanut M&M, you've got kind of the bigger shell. the candy coating and then the chocolate. And then on the inside, I think, is where they're going to incorporate that crunch, that cookie-esque type thing, because, I mean, the M&M's already there. You're not going to have, like, little M&M's inside. That would be cool, though. That would be cool. But let's open this up. Let's see what we got. Okay, so they aren't as big as peanut M&M's. I thought they would be. This is like, it's like a more plump plain M&M. You know what they feel like? In hand, they feel like a Skittle. That's the type of like size and stuff that makes sense. So we're going to try one. You know, I think they freaking nailed it. It tastes like a cookie on the inside. You got a nice crunch. But it's like an airy, hollow crunch. It's not like a plain M&M crunch or like a pretzel M&M crunch. A lot more airy. It's almost like the inside of a Whopper without the malt taste. That's pretty much what these are. These are the M&M version of Whoppers. They're good. I think I'd still rather have regular M&Ms, but I'm kind of weird. I love regular M&Ms. I'm not a huge fan on like the adaptations of M&Ms, different things like that, but I would give these a solid 6.5. You know what? No, we're going 7. I'm going to give them a solid 7. Solid 7, so if you see a crunchy cookie, give them a try. I think it's worth it. But that's going to wrap up our time in the booth today, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me once again, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. See ya.